Hey guys, so as we get settled into the month of December, I figured it's the best time to go back and see how my portfolio did for the month of November in its entirety. So that means in this video, we're gonna go over how much I made for the month of November, how that puts me at year to date and even all time, what buys and sells did I make and why, a little bit into how the dividends went, and what my goals are essentially for the rest of the year. But of course, as always, let me know in the comments below how your portfolio performed for the month of November. Hopefully you made some more money. Hopefully you did a lot of good stuff with dividends, and hopefully you added and subtracted things from your portfolio to make it a lot better than what it was. So for the month of November, I actually performed pretty well. My portfolio went up around 2.03%, so that was about $324 for me. Year to date is where things start to get really fun. It actually has been increasing over 32%. I have not checked out the S&P 500, but I'm imagining it's fairly competitive, probably doing a decent better than that. I'm gonna do that for December. But anyway, all time, I finally hit 50% profit, so a little over $5,000. That just basically means half of what I have in my portfolio is all unrealized profit. And I really think that's a testament to just making the right decisions, obviously being a little lucky, and maintaining those positions for long periods of time. So despite only investing $30 a week, which I say a lot, that still shows that you can make a decent amount of profit if you're just investing into the right things. Speaking of being in the right positions, I did make one sell for the month. I ended up selling a position I had in AMD, or Advanced Micro Devices. AMD is not a bad position at all. I really feel like it could have a lot of potential upside in the long term, especially with its heavy involvement in the AI infrastructure. I know it's not a super volatile stock like Nvidia, which happens to be the biggest holding I have in my entire portfolio, but that might not be a bad thing either. But the reason why I sold it is the reason why I sell a decent amount of stocks. I noticed that I hadn't invested into it since I opened the position, which was maybe 1.5 to 2 years ago. And throughout this year, I've noticed a pretty big shift in what I'm investing into. And for the time being, it wasn't AMD. So I decided to let that go and put that towards some other positions, including a few positions that I actually bought this last month. The first one I bought was Williams-Sonoma. I spent $180 total. It got me about 1.37 shares. That's essentially the definition of what I'm looking for in an overall portfolio at this time. Something that may not have a huge dividend yield, but does have a great dividend CAGR, I think 17 to 18%, and its share price history is amazing for the short and the long term. Along with that, I did buy into Target, a little over half a share, and that was right after they announced Q3 results, which were way lower than expectations. They're not expecting to do well for the remainder of the year, which sent the share price dropping very significantly. They are having issues like a decrease in foot traffic, even though they pledged and actually ended up decreasing a lot of the prices of their items. But unfortunately, the majority of things that people are really wanting to get are groceries, and they still have the reputation of having more expensive groceries. You're gonna see people go to other stores like Kroger and Walmart. But at the end of the day, I think Target really provides more of an experience than other stores do. Plus they have the advantage of selling a lot of other things on top of having Starbucks and having other food items that people like to buy while they're shopping. I think that's gonna help them grow in the long term. On top of that, they have a 53-year dividend payout and payout increase history. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. So hopefully I'm right about that. Speaking of the dividend, now for a quick dividend update, for the month of November, I made about $34, which was my second highest check for the entire year. I think behind March or May, which was like $35 or $36. But again, one thing I really enjoy doing is seeing what my portfolio could potentially perform in the future. But I decided to look at how it would perform if I stopped investing altogether and just relied on the reinvestment or the drip, or if I continued to actually invest $30 per week. So this is what I ended up getting. Without investing $30 per week, I would make $376 per year by this time next year in passive income. 5 years from now, I would get paid $529 per year, 10 years, $818 per year, and 15 years, $1,294 per year, which is not bad. But just adding $30 per week as I'm normally doing, that would put me at the same per year, but in 5 years, I would make $706 per year, 10 years, $1,349 per year, and 15 years, $2,430 per year. So we're talking $1,200 extra dollars per year in passive income within 15 years, as long as I continue to invest just $30 every single week. But the goal is to definitely increase that as I continue to pay things off and I just have money available, and obviously as I also hopefully make more money in the long term. So $50 could be a lot more. That's a goal that I'm trying to aim for on a weekly basis. but this is always great seeing. My goals as we approach the end of the year are pretty much the same as they have been for the past couple of months when it comes to my entire portfolio. So of course I have a portfolio that can beat the S&P 500 and still give me passive income. So I've been focusing more on investing into positions like a Williams-Sonoma, which may have a lower dividend yield than a company like Verizon, but granted it has a higher share price. But regardless, it's also going to have a better share price history because they're reinvesting more into themselves. Also kind of like a company like Apple. I'll still invest into those higher positions again, or higher dividend yielding positions like a Verizon Wireless, a Realty Income, a QYLD, but paying more attention to how much I'm allocating to each category is going to be something that's important for me as we get to the end of this year and definitely next year as well. Dividend stocks and ETFs are what's important for me right now. So I'm definitely going to continue to try to increase my passive income payout. And again, November went pretty well. And I talk about it more in this video where I go over more of the dividend checks that I received, how much I made, how that actually compares to November of last year, the years before that, what my average looks like, all that stuff. So if you're interested, make sure you check out that video. I appreciate you guys watching this video. And until next time, as always, take care.